Happy Friday, fourth graders. Can you believe it? We have made it through the first 3 days anyway. So we are doing really good. I just want to remind you again, we're going to be looking at our daily schedule. We're going to see what we have to do today in all of our little subject areas. So in reading today, we're going to watch the lesson and do the video. You'll have your packet, 30 minutes of Imagine Learning, 30 minutes of RTS, and then you can go on to math, science, and social studies, which we'll be talking about in just a few minutes. So again, I wanted to show you that I am home. I'm going to lift this up here. Okay, I am home, and look who's still in my window. I don't know if she's ever gotten out of my window. Hello, Daisy. She's out there. We can hear ducks out there this morning, so life is definitely going on. They're still building this house across the street from me. They got some framing done on that house over there yesterday. It was very loud. We had a lot of noise yesterday. So Daisy's watching out there, listening for the ducks and everything. So we'll get started while she listens for those cute ducks out there. Okay, so I'm going to put this back on my little stand so it doesn't get all moving around. All right, today we do have a lesson in our reading packets, okay? So for our reading packet, we're dealing with open and closed syllables. This is a little bit of a tricky concept, so I'm going to need everybody to pay really, really close attention. So we've talked about this a little bit in class, but we never really got into real specifics about it. When we are dealing with syllables, remember syllables are how many sounds we hear in a word. So for instance, I just had a bagel for breakfast. So breakfast would have 2 syllables, breakfast. You can clap it. Mrs. Mahan has 2 syllables, Mahan. So that's when we're talking about a syllable. That's what we're talking about, is how many vowel sounds do we hear in a word? And we have an open and we have a closed type of syllable. So let's do a couple of these together, and I'll have you do the rest of them at home, but let's do the first 3 together. When we are dealing with this word habit, what we want to do is we want to look at our first of all, how many syllables does habit have? Habit. Habit. How do we know where to separate it? We don't. It's got 2 syllables and we've got to separate it. Do we separate it as H-A-B-I-T, or do we separate it as H-A-B-I-T? How do we separate it? Well, there's a cool way to do it. We look at the first syllable. Ha-ah. Is a long sound or a short sound? Hopefully 4th graders know that ah is the short sound of A. When we have a short sound in the first syllable, it means that that vowel is too short. It's too little to go out and play by itself, and it needs a fence around it. It needs consonant fences. So we have an H and we have a B. Those are our consonant fences around our little A, because he's too little to go out and play. It's like your little brother or sister can't go out and play by himself or herself, so we put a fence around them. So when they're short, you have to have 2 consonants around them. So the right way that we would do this would be habit, okay? And then the next one down would be never. Okay, we've still got 2 syllables. How about that first vowel sound? Is that long or is that short? Never. Is a short sound. So again, we're going to have it have 2 fences around it so that it stays safe, because it's too short to go out and play. Okay? Now about the next one, wiper. I. Is that a long sound or a short sound? I is a long sound. Well, if it's long, then it's tall and big enough to go out and play by itself, so it doesn't need to have a fence around it. It can just have the W-I, there's no fence, and then the purr over here has to have a fence. So keep in mind, we're dealing with long and short vowels. Does it need to have a fence? Does it not need to have a fence? Okay, so short vowels have to have a fence around it. Long vowels do not. So I'm going to let you guys do the rest of that page there on your own. Give it your best shot. If you have any questions, you can always email me. I am right here ready to help you. Once you get that page done, you're just going to take your packet and flip it like a pancake. We have discussed interviews before. Interviews are when people ask questions and then other people answer those questions. So we have a packet here that has the questions and then it has the interview. What do? We always read the questions first, then you can read the interview, then you can answer the questions. Okay, for that interview, then you're just going to do the last page in your packet, which is making judgments. Alrighty, so again, you guys are going to be reading the questions, read the passage, and then answer the questions. Remember, making judgments means you're inferencing, and inferencing is when you're using clues in the story to help you answer the question. It's not going to come right out and tell you, hey, dude, this is what's happening. You need to use your brain and use the clues in the story to be the detectives. Once you have that all done, then you are done with week 1 packet, and you can set that aside, and we'll figure out how to turn them in. We might be having you guys take pictures of them, having your parents email. I will find out for you, and then I will let you know. But just set that aside, keep it in a nice, safe place. Just a reminder, for math today, you should be doing 10.4. We're working on the writing process for writing. In science, you should have completed all of your cards 1 through 16, and you're going over the questions. It says you're looking at the questions and the answers. So you're going to go back just 1 through 16, read the questions, read the answers that I included with the packet, and that way you can get to know them even better. And then next week we'll do the rest of the cards kind of the same way we did this week and go over them more. Alrighty, everybody should be done with this one or be working on this one, finishing this today. We're dealing with the Pony Express. We didn't get it completely finished, our little foldables, but hopefully we can review with this. Make sure you've read all the articles, that you are answering the questions that are on the back here, and have that completed. Alrighty, so that's what we're going to get done for Friday. Now, just a note for parents and for you guys, I will be sending out links to next week's work. There will be a new reading packet. There will be a new little one of these newspapers in there dealing with the Telegraph, which I feel really bad that I'm missing that one because it's one of my favorite things I get to teach and stuff. So please keep in mind that I will be sending links out on Monday for that. Make sure you're responding to my attendance. And I hope that you guys have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. Enjoy it with your families. Know how much I miss you and that I wish that we were in class together. And you guys take care of yourselves. See you on Monday.